Do you know how much money they make off of women going in the hospital to have a baby? We breastfed. You know how much money they make off of baby formula? You know, so it was everything that John Africa was doing. The example that he was setting through MOVE was tearing down their monetary system.
Wow.
And they couldn't have that. I mean, keeping people from going to prison.
How did there was no one in the system that said, hey, we are gone too far?
Well, we had sympathizers in different areas. That's how we knew they were going to attack. They called us, like they weren't going to put themselves out there and lose their job or whatever, but that's the kind of things they did. They called us and said they are sitting here planning a major attack on y'all. They had built in the parking lot behind the police district, they had made a copy of our house, built up a makeshift copy, like what do you call it?
A model.
Yeah, a model of our house, and was practicing all the stuff they were going to do to us there.
That was in the court notes.
Yeah.
In the court notes that they had tried, to see what they could do, what would work. What wouldn't work.
And there's people that felt that way, but they, they couldn't put themselves out there. Like, when we were found guilty and sentenced, there were lawyers that talked amongst themselves and they were upset. They were saying, boy, Malmet really put a bad scar on the legal system because everything he did was illegal, even by their standards, of finding 9 people guilty of the shooting of one cop with one gun, with one bullet, and then to admit, and this is another reason why they shot Mumia down in the streets. Mumia called into the radio program that this judge was on, the Frank Ford show. And he didn't say his name, but everybody knows that voice is unmistakable. And he was just really grilling this judge, grilling him. So finally he just said, well, who shot Officer Ram? And the judge tried to just gloss over it. Mumia just kept on pressing. He said, yeah, but who shot Officer Ram? Finally, Malmet just snapped out. He said, I don't know who shot him. It was somebody in that house. He said, you don't know who shot this man, and you sent 9 people to prison for 30 to 100 years? And that was it. That was the last.
He said they acted as a family.
Yeah, he said, well, he said that in our case, the sentencing. He said they always said they're a family, so I'm going to sentence them as a family.
He got shot in the back of the head.
That's
bullet traveling down.
Because they had to have
and y'all were in the basement.
Yes.
And they knew y'all were in the basement.
And that's why they just tore the house down, because they didn't want people to see how much they tried to kill us. And they didn't want people to see that it was impossible for us to have shot that cop. So they destroyed, flattened it out and did it against a judge's court order, because the lawyers in the case went to this judge, Judge Williams, and told him, because they knew that the cops was going to plan on tearing the house down. And he said, he put an order out, and a stay order, and told them not to tear that house down. They did it anyway.
They tore the house down anyway.
Did it anyway. So,
a cop that was on death duty.
Yeah. Brought him in. He didn't, from the video they showed us that they said was Ramp. He was standing by the telephone pole in front of our house, leaning against it just as casual as you want, with his hand on his hip, turned his hat backwards. No, flak jacket on or nothing. He's just standing out there in the open, looking over, enjoying himself as they attack us, So,
yeah. And how about that part of the film that showed that?
But when
it came to the shooting,
it went
like
blank, fuzzy.
Nothing.
So you don't never see him get shot.
But all the footage up until then, you do not see nothing after. Nothing.
Yeah. And then once he gets shot, it comes back on.
Once he gets shot, it comes back on.
And he's just
we got proof.
Yeah, he's just laying there.
got
you
proof
guys did 42 years?
41 years.
41 years.
Yeah.
for something that we
Both
did.
of y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 9 of us. My sister Merle, they killed her in prison. My husband, Phil Africa, they killed him in prison. And Delbert, you might as well say they killed him because they messed him up. They gave him cancer and all kind of stuff. And when he came out,
Oh my God.
when he came out, we took him to doctors out here. And the doctor that examined him, when he finished examining him, he was in tears. And when we was talking to him, they was like, you know, why are you crying? He said, because I can't believe what they did to him in prison. He said it was no way that he should be sick like this. It's no way. He said, I can't believe the things they did, and I can't believe the things that they didn't do for him in there. He said, it's no way he should have been like this, you know, and he didn't last 6 months when he got out.
He died.
Same with Chucky Africa, you know, because it was 9 of us. And now it's just down to the 3 of us.